We've talked about this in the past when they found Russell Wilson. I told you about it that they signed Jackson, they signed Matt Flynn to a big contract, they acquired Charlie Whitehurst, and they also drafted Russell Wilson. It was all in one off season. And so the Carolina Panthers, so far, they went and signed Teddy Bridgewater, and now they signed P.J. Walker. They have Will Greer in there. He looked terrible as a rookie. I wasn't necessarily a Greer guy. Chris Greer, yes, not Will Greer. But Will Greer was a guy that I wasn't really a big fan of. But they drafted him, not this group here, okay, because it's not Matt Rule's guy, but they did draft him in the third round. And so it shows you that they're willing to go into different areas to try to find that guy, and you got to keep digging, man. And if I'm the Carolina Panthers and I fail with Bridgewater and Walker, which is likely, you keep trying, man. Keep finding the guy. That's what I love about the Dolphins now, this new regime. All right, you made the trade for Rosen. It doesn't work? Great. Go draft another guy. And they're going to do that this year. And if you fail, keep going. Eventually you'll hit on it. Let me explain something to you guys. How about this? Look at Bill Belichick. He hit on Brady. Okay? Ryan Mallett wasn't a big success. Matt Castle wasn't either. Neither was Brian Hoyer. Neither is, what's it called? Jacoby Brissett. Garoppolo, we don't know yet. It's been a pretty good draft pick, but hasn't turned into a complete stud yet. Another year here, we should be able to know where the hell he's at. He's been pretty decent, solid. But you think about it, in the 20 years, Belichick hit on one stud in Brady, and we're still waiting on Garoppolo. And he's taken several quarterbacks over the years. All kinds of quarterbacks. He didn't stop taking quarterbacks. He didn't hit on another star. Maybe Garoppolo becomes that. Not yet, but maybe he does. It's pretty good overall. But think about that. That's 20 years of constantly going after a quarterback. And there's others I haven't mentioned. So it never stopped him from doing that. And it's smart. But I just want you to know how hard it is. Because it's been 20 years and he couldn't find another one and he kept trying. It's not like the Dolphins that they never really went for. Like the 7 years they had Ryan Tannehill here, they never really drafted other quarterbacks. You know?
Did you just call him Tannehill?
Yeah, I did. Tannehill, whatever. So Marino, too. We used to say that with Shula a lot. Like, hey, when Shula's going to get his replacement and stuff? And, like, never did. And so by the time Shula retired, Marino retired, they didn't have the guy in place. And Jimmy took a couple guys to himself, and he couldn't hit on them. Traded for Druckenmiller, drafted John Dutton. I mean, and he couldn't hit on anything. It's not easy to get that quarterback, not easy to find it. Even the greatest coach of all time, yeah, he hit on the GOAT, but he hasn't hit on another one yet. And I don't know if Jarrett Stidham's going to be that guy, but if he isn't, it's going to be hard for him to get back to that point. But what I love about what Belichick does is he's not going to stop going after him. Now, maybe he has this whole stiffy that his system is the key, and so he could get an average guy, and maybe that's why he's doing this with Hoyer and these other guys that he has there, that he's like, you know what? My system will make the quarterback better. We'll see. But I love the fact that the Dolphins are going to take that approach that they're going after a quarterback all the time. Because that's the only way you're going to find it. But it won't be easy. None of it is easy. Most of the time you're going to fail. You're going to fail a lot when you draft quarterbacks. There's no 50-50 when you draft a quarterback. It's probably 85-15. Okay? When you draft a quarterback, there's an 85% chance he will not be a star. You might get a serviceable guy. You might get a backup. You might get a mediocre starter. But I'm saying a star, man, You know what? It's not even 85. It's probably 95%. That's how hard it is to find one. But that's where I give, the Panthers credit that, okay, this guy took over and immediately he went and found two options. Maybe both suck, but at least you tried. Because that's the only way you're going to find them. And that's why I tell you that what Chris Grier has done already, last year he had a second-round pick and he traded it away to make it 2 second-round picks just so he can bring in a quarterback. And it didn't cost him really much. Draft-wise, doesn't cost you that much, a couple spots, but you end up bringing in a guy that, okay, if he's not a starter, he's a backup, you're barely paying him any money, and just over $2 million is a joke. Not bad. Now this year, you go draft a guy. If Tua can't stay healthy, well, then you go draft another one. If Herbert can't mature, you go draft another one. If Anthony Gordon's not good enough, you go draft another one. If Jordan Love can't make great decisions on a consistent basis, go draft another one. If Joe Burrow was a one-year wonder and really didn't come through, go draft another one. But you can't quit. And you can't get dejected about it. And you can be a little pissed about it, but as long as your team stays aggressive and going to find another quarterback, that's all that matters. Because eventually they're going to hit on one. What they won't do is you'll never hit on one if you don't constantly draft or trade for one or sign one. That I can guarantee you. Because that's how the Dolphins have been for many, many years. They didn't make enough moves for quarterbacks, and they ended up paying the price. In fact, Bill Belichick has showed you that even if you have a quarterback, keep drafting quarterbacks. You don't have to trade up for one, but if you have a quarterback and you're in the draft and one falls to you that you actually like, for one reason or another, take him. That's how you're going to get somewhere. By actually drafting a real quarterback.